Hello everyone, my name is Logan, and I am the 20-Sided DM. You are about to listen to the first episode of an actual play podcast. Before you begin, I would like to express to you my thanks for taking the time to listen to us, and explain to you how amazing these people truly are. Along with the idea of this podcast, my players and I have started an entertainment network called nerdsmith.org. Nerdsmith is a collaborative effort to bring nerdy entertainment to everyone and supported by listeners who share our philosophy. We wanted to help build a worldwide community that would empower others to create excellent art, tell amazing stories, and construct shared experiences that will last a lifetime. Now please sit back and enjoy as Nerdsmith proudly presents the Shenanigoons. Heather, why don't you start? Go ahead and give us your name and describe your character a little bit.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Heather. I'm going to be playing Val, the half-orc cleric. Val is very straightforward and blunt. Doesn't really understand why people think she's always angry, though. I mean, she's a half-orc. Her face just looks that way.
And Heather, how many years have you been smoking?
Yeah. Heather, the player, is sick, and Logan, the DM, can fuck off.
Just in case you didn't know, this is a adults-only podcast. There will be several hours of swearing, I'm sure. Kyle, why don't you go ahead and describe your character? We'll get away from the hostilities over there.
All right. I'm Kyle, and I'm playing the part of Merrick Strider. He's a halfling rogue. There's no big or too small for Merrick. Suffice it to say that purses aren't the only thing he's willing to cut.
Wow.
Ooh, nice. Tessa, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Bonnie.
My name is Tessa. I am married to our lovely DM. I play Bonnie, who is a young half-elf bard from the tiniest fishing island you can think of, and she dreams of nothing more than adventure and romanticizes being a pirate.
Privateer, I'm sure you meant.
Them fancy talk.
Angela.
My name is Angela, and I'm going to be playing Adelaide Chaucer, who is a human fighter, an archer. Despite a few false starts she's had in her new career as a bounty hunter, Adelaide takes solace in the fact that she is smarter and more talented than other people, and is happy to prove it at the nearest opportunity. Skill holds far more weight in this world to her than luck or good intentions.
Awesome. And gypsum, isn't that stuff they find in drywall?
I don't know, maybe. I like Steven Universe.
All right.
So,
Mike.
Why am I the last picked in dodgeball?
because you're the best.
And now, so I'm Michael. I'm going to be playing Arthur. I enjoy long walks in the underground ruins, bird watching, and stealing from the dead. A wise person once said that you can learn a lot from a fool, and I may be your greatest teacher.
Awesome. I love it. This campaign is going to be set in the world of Vale, which is a homebrew campaign. Don't leave. It's okay. It's set right post-medieval to mid to post-Renaissance, just entering into kind of the Industrial Revolution in some areas of the continent, which is where we're going to be starting is in the city of Ashport, which is a large London-esque type city. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
Ashport, a city on the brink. The winds of the restless sea are thick with the soot and grime of progress. The continent of Valdara is a world of adventure and magic, and this land of kings, of monsters, of heroes, is being dragged kicking and screaming into a modern age. Crime lords battle for control of the city's underbelly, and the common people struggle for survival. All the while, politicians congratulate themselves on being a testament to enlightenment. The Birchfield Institute, a shining beacon through the smoke, leads the way, merging science and magic to improve the lives of those who can afford it. The divide between the common and privileged is growing wider, day by day. Eager to shed Ashport's uncivilized past, the powers that be dismiss adventurers and heroes as mere mercenaries, charlatans, pirates. Only a select few, through sheer nerve and talent, become sanctioned by the Institute to recover ancient knowledge and artifacts for study and safekeeping. And while the city shifts and strains amid this clash of power old and new, A series of distractions and a case of mistaken identity have left Adelaide Chaucer chasing entirely the wrong man for her latest bounty. After a few called-in favors and some well-placed guilt, Adelaide has wrangled her unsuspecting former target Arthur, her misinformed informant Merrick, the charming and all-too-chatty bard Bonnie, and cleric ally-in-arms Val into helping her track down her actual quarry. The party has arrived at a local tavern called the Dazzling Cup, hot on the wanted man's trail.
So your bounty is just ducked out the back of this tavern. What do you do?
Adelaide's directly going to give chase. Like, anybody fast can try to keep up with her.
So Adelaide continues right out the back door straight after this mark.
Okay. Arthur sees Adelaide doing this and jumps up from the table and shouts, "Put this on my tab," and then runs out the door as well.
All right.
Val, realizing that this is the first time we've been in this tavern that she knows of, throws a couple coins down on the table, and then goes out the front to try to go around the buildings and cut him off.
Okay, so you head out the front and start running down the street to get to a back alley. Merrick?
Merrick is not fast, so he's going to hop out the back door and see if he can line up a shot with his bow.
Bonnie jumps up out of her chair and just kind of like parkours over the tables and chairs, trying to get out the door faster than actually running. And if it means stepping on people's card games and accidentally knocking over drinks, so be it, if it's the fastest way out.
All right. So as the four of you enter into this back alley, you do see the mark just ducking back around the next turn. If you'd like to go ahead and get a shot off, go ahead and take a shot with disadvantage.
Got it. That is a 10 to hit.
So your arrow just hits the corner of the building as he streaks around. Arrow, right? You said crossbow? Or, bow and arrow?
Yep. Oh, it's
Okay,
a bow.
So arrow just hits the building right as it goes around, just barely missing him. So you guys continue to give chase down to the end of this alley, and as you come around, we see Val duck around and meet you just at the end of this alley. And the five of you continue giving chase down this alley through the trash and the other muck. There's a couple of vagrants there. And he turns another corner, and you get to that next corner, and right after that, there's a three-way turn, and you seem to have lost him.
Merrick is gonna pay attention to the sound of footfalls in the alley.
Go
See
ahead
if he
and
can.
give me a perception check.
You got it. That is a 20.
You hear a bottle get knocked over to the right behind a large crate with trash in it.
I think he's to the right.
I immediately go left.
Better than nothing. Adelaide's gonna pull her bow out and start heading that direction. Quick.
Okay, so quickly? Or creepily?
Probably creepily at first. Just
Okay,
if
give me a
it seems
stealth
like it. 15.
Okay, so you make it about halfway to this large crate, and the mark jumps up and starts running down the alley again from behind the dumpster. Do you take your shot?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Non-lethal, trying to just down him, not
Sure.
kill him. That's 12.
12 does hit. We'll go ahead and say that you wound him in the leg. Your arrow penetrates into his leg. Go ahead and do damage.
Whew. That's 10.
He drops. He is out, unconscious. He kind of grabs his leg, twists, and just collapses to the ground.
I can fix it.
I didn't mean to hit an artery.
Let me tie him up. And Bonnie will pull out a length of rope from her pack and tie him up in the best sailor's knots she knows.
So you go ahead and you tie him up.
This guy looks nothing at all like me.
And that's true. He doesn't look anything like you. He is a a very kind of ugly mug. He's got a lot of just scrapes and bruises. Over time, it just kind of swelled his face permanently. He looks like he just looks ugly. He's bald, and he has wearing a hat. He was wearing a hat,
God.
and he has he's wearing just commoner clothes. He's got a small money pouch on.
Adelaide rubs the bridge of her nose and is just, Merrick.
I don't know, you all look the same from the knees up.
I don't think that's what she meant.
No, it's not.
So you slip the money pouch off of his belt.
Any rings on his fingers?
Yes, he does have. He has a small copper ring on his left finger.
So, what exactly did he do, Adelaide?
I didn't ask. It was a job. Kind of looks like he did something bad.
He looks like he may have been in at least a few fights in his time.
His worst offense is, like, trying to impersonate me.
Poorly.
Badly. Adelaide just keeps rubbing the bridge of her nose.
So, we have him. Now what?
We turn him in.
All right, where are we supposed to turn him in?
My handler's where I got the job from, likely.
Is that the guard?
Have you worked with the Fetchers much, Bonnie?
No. What's a fetcher?
Val just kind of gestures at Adelaide, like, go ahead.
We do the jobs that the guards don't want to get their hands dirty doing. He's not going right to the guard's image.
Okay.
Don't worry too much, dear, about it. Adelaide will start trying to pick him up, which is probably not a good idea, given her strength.
He is a big dude.
Can Bonnie attempt to pick him up?
Sure.
I assume that's a strength check then?
Bonnie, he is quite a bit lighter now without his coin pouch and ring.
That'll be a 16.
All right, so you've kind of popped him up on your shoulder. Still got this arrow stuck in his leg. He's still passed out.
Should we pull it out?
Oh, wait. Can you hold him there for a second? And she fixes the leg and takes out the arrow and hands it back to Bonnie. Adelaide.
That was one of my better ones, thanks.
Okay, so you bandage his leg. That takes you a few minutes.
Adelaide takes out a handkerchief and wipes
at least
the
he's
blood off her arrow.
pretty well held.
Yeah.
Nice
And the arrow didn't hit bone, so you can reuse it.
Reuse the bone? That's a good idea.
No, the arrow. It didn't bend and the tip stayed sharp, so she can reuse it.
Waste not, want not, and she pops it back into her quiver.
Yep. Soft tissue shots. They're the way to go.
I'll keep that in mind.
Right.
Yeah, Merrick, next time, make sure there's not someone running in front of the person you're trying to shoot. Behind the person you're trying to shoot.
I didn't hit you, did I?
A little closer comfort.
Perfect.
Not this time.
How do you know he wasn't aiming for that building?
I hit it really well.
Part of some grand, complicated scheme.
That would explain why you aimed at the metal street plate. I was kind of wondering.
I was trying to get the ricochet off the corner of the building. Didn't quite work out.
So you were going for flourish and flair. I like it.
Can I say I'm a man of many talents?
Alright, so where's your handler, Adelaide?
Back at HQ, presumably.
Well, he's not getting any lighter, so shall we start walking?
Very impressed right now. You don't seem that strapping.
I worked in a shipyard.
That explains the knot.
Yeah. I built ships for the last 3 or 4 years. You kind of develop a little bit of muscle tone doing that.
Yeah, I can start walking that way.
To be fair, I do feel a bit like a fish out of water here, so, lead the way.
You are, but that's okay. Yeah, where do we go?
This way, dears. And she will start heading towards where her handler would be.
While we're walking, Merrick is going to take a look at that copper ring. See if there's any distinguishing marks in it.
There is an inscription that says from Arabelle.
Merrick, maybe don't pocket that exactly yet. We need identifying information to make sure we can prove that's who it is.
I'm just holding on to it for safekeeping.
I'll remember that.
And Merrick will slip it into the guy's coin pouch and then squirrel it away somewhere.
Okay.
I still think you look really familiar, Merrick. Are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
Can't say that I remember you, love.
I get hit on the head a lot in battles, so, maybe I'm remembering wrong.
You might want to wear a helmet.
That's not where I was going with that, but okay. The helmet makes it harder to see, so it's a trade-off.
Or learn how to duck.
There's that too. It did happen once, actually, when I was a kid. It doesn't feel good. I really don't recommend it.
I think he's too short to hit you on the head.
I can imagine that your tusks would get caught in the math guy as well.
Maybe, but only if it gets caught on your tooth, not your lip. I didn't catch my lip.
I have a hard enough.
Oh, except on chainmail one time when I was trying to put it on and not catch it on my tusk. That did not feel good.
I almost got a fish hook caught in my lip. Is that kind of the same?
A little bit.
Imagine it's like biting onto a fork.
Oh. Adelaide's ahead of everyone, just sort of eyeballing streets, turning into alleys when needed, trying to get to where she needs to go. Generally not participating, but occasionally you do hear that chainmail comment.
Bonnie starts whistling as they're walking, just kind of,
You look very inconspicuous, dear.
Are we going for inconspicuous?
If we were, the fact that you're carrying a gigantic, fat, bald man on your shoulder kind of negates it.
I suppose.
It's been my experience, people know how to ignore things that aren't their business.
Besides, you're with a fetcher and one of the knights of joy and sorrow, so they'll probably leave you alone anyway.
And a small child.
You! Is that where I know you're from?
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure? She's looking at you like she's trying to picture you without any facial hair, and maybe a year or two younger. We'll talk later.
I imagine that we will.
Arthur, are you just as clueless as I am?
Most of the time.
As far as the modus operandi, it's not too bad.
You'll both have long and happy lives.
I prefer not being clueless. I find that usually helps. Right, so you're a fetcher, and you're a knight?
Yep.
But you don't have, like, a horse and a sword and...
Where did you say you were from again?
Ashmar's Tooth.
Oh, okay. So, I don't think we have an outpost there, because, honestly, there's not enough space. But, the Knights of Joy and Sorrow. We're the knightly order, started out following Wayuna. We go after the bad people and help the good people, so that the bad people go to the plains of sorrow faster, and the good people get to live their lives out before they go to the valleys of joy. That whole thing. Some of us have horses. I actually don't care for horses very much. Most of them can't hold me up, and they have the tendency to kick, which I'm not a fan of.
I suppose that makes sense, then.
So you balance the scales, as it were.
More or less. We try to tip the scales in favor of those who deserve a helping hand. Wayuna isn't necessarily balance-oriented, except that, when she weighs your soul after you die, if you're really bad and you tip the scale way too far, you're gonna be stuck in one of the planes for a really long time.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's not all bad. If you just kind of run middle ground, you'll just end up in the Valley of Shadow. And then, you just have to earn your way back into one of the Fields of Joy, so it works.
I'll make a note not to do that.
Well, that's why they say be a good person.
That sounds tedious.
Does it pay well?
That depends. Do you prefer eternal torment or eternal happiness?
I think either would get boring.
Well, then you might like the Valley of Shadows, because it's kind of mediocre, and then you have to fight things or work past things in order to get into one of the fields.
Yeah, I could live with that. Well, I mean...
That's probably a good thing that you're okay with it, given what we just saw.
He was incredibly helpful. I mean, he went with the ricochet, and I'm being obtuse again, aren't I?
Yes, absolutely intentional ricochet.
I meant the coin purse, had she?
Well, he wasn't going to use it.
There was nothing in the bounty that said, preserve his wealth. I mean, at a certain point, commission takes you so far, but do what you can. Keep yourself going.
No, it's fair to a point. But she kind of does the, meet the Fockers, I've got my eyes on you thing to Merrick.
I mean, he does have a point. He isn't going to use it anymore.
Well, we don't actually know what the handler's going to do with him when we hand him over.
There are a few options. None of them are particularly great, but, he did something to get their attention.
That's true.
From the looks of him, you're gonna bury him.
No, he's fine. She pats his unconscious
He's not
face.
dead.
I just hope he's not sold.
You have a lot of experience tying knots.
Yeah, most dock hands do.
Duly noted.
As you kind of pat him on the cheek, he stirs a little, and he starts to kind of moan and come out of it.
Adelaide's gonna punch him in the face.
As he kind of looks and sees that you're about to punch him in the face, he freaks out a little bit and says, Wait! I can make you a very rich woman.
How rich?
Very rich.
I have a contract, dear. I follow through.
24 hours for the information I have.
24 hours of what?
Freedom. You give me 24 hours before you chase me again.
And what, pray tell, would warrant that?
Gold. More than you've ever seen.
I've seen quite a bit, dear.
I could stand to see some more.
Care less about gold than what? Sending an innocent man to die?
I'm sure if they took a contract out on you, you're not innocent.
You got someone's attention. Probably for the wrong reasons.
Sure. I got lots of people's attention. Doesn't mean I did anything illegal.
It doesn't have to be illegal to be wrong.
It doesn't have to be legal to be right.
Also true.
Bonnie, come on. Keep walking.
Now, just hear me out. We caught him once already. What's to say that we can't catch him again?
He knows we're looking for him now. Sure he'll run aground, or go underground.
Well, he seemed to know that we were looking for him when he ran out of the bar.
If he was smart, he'd just blow town, and I don't want to risk that. Though I'm not sure how smart he looks. She pats him on the face.
Smart enough to cut a deal.
Fair enough. What is it that you're so innocent of?
Well, no, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you and riches. Riches I can bring you.
That wasn't what she asked you.
She's going to be delivering me to my death. Do you think I care what she asked me? I only care to get out of it.
Then you should probably care what she asked you.
I really need to settle this in my soul in terms of the moral quandary you've put me in, sir. I'd like to know why they wanted you.
I don't know why they want me in particular.
Then how do you know that they want to kill you?
Because I'm the type of man that anybody who gets their hands on probably wants to kill.
And what do you do on a day-to-day basis that would warrant that reaction?
I listen. In places I'm not supposed to.
Secrets are a dangerous business.
Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about that in a movie.
Wonderful poker face, dear. I've not quite been convinced of this. I'm inclined to just turn you in as instructed and be done with you. You've been a pain in my side.
We've only just met. How do you know I've been a pain in your side?
We had to chase you.
She doesn't breathe really well when she runs. It's more of an exercise thing.
Can I roll an insight check on him to see if he's actually got information?
Sure, go ahead.
15.
His body language seems to be leading towards a genuine kind of discussion. Obviously a little panicked, but he's composes himself very well and kind of hides it.
I think he's telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be being dishonest about having good information or the money.
Of course I'm telling the truth.
Vagaries and pocket change don't really interest me. You need to tell me what you know before I decide if it's valuable. I can't just go on your word.
Have you ever heard of the Reevesmen?
Has Adelaide heard of them?
Off the top of your head, nobody has. If anybody wants to make a roll, they can go ahead and let me know.
I would like to make a roll.
Okay, you need a knowledge history.
I will assist.
Okay, so you get advantage.
That's why I will assist.
17.
17. Okay. So with the 17, you have heard of the Reevesmen. They are a very kind of secretive group that don't let a lot of information get known about them, but they are an organization that protects, at least their goal is to protect the lower to middle class. They work towards that goal. A reeve is, a manor official. It's a person that is the highest servant at a fancy manor. The Reevesman is a play on that title of being the overseers of the more common man.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, not many have.
And what interest would we have in that?
Well, I know that they're looking for people to make a big score.
How big are we talking?
I'm not exactly sure, but I know they're hitting one of those bigwigs up on the hill. The big fancy houses with 3 doors and 12 bathrooms.
12?
Why would you need 3 doors?
You'd be lucky to get 1 down at this level.
What's the purpose of 3 doors?
Front, back, and servants is my understanding.
I'm finding all this talk of gold a bit worn. I have other interests, including keeping my job. I'm sure you can understand.
You're making a big mistake here. I'm only asking for 24 hours, and I'll make the connection.
Adeline, how much was your bounty for?
It's not really about the gold. It's about getting it done and having that on your record.
You're a bounty hunter. You care about such things?
I care about not getting a bad reputation for breaking my word.
So you won't break your word. Catch me tomorrow.
I mean, what could be the harm?
He leaves. That could be the harm.
So we track him down wherever he goes.
Why would I leave this town? It's my favorite town. It's my home.
Insight check.
Good.
14.
He seems to be genuine. He really does believe that this is his home. He's not looking to go anywhere else right this second.
I feel like that at least he's telling the truth about. But I'm not sure how I feel about letting him go without more information. With that 14, Logan, does he seem evil to me, or does he just seem like someone who's kind of shady?
Evil versus shady? This is a hard line. You don't think he'd stab a baby or anything, but he might steal from one.
Candy, perhaps?
They have the best candy.
And by the way, taking candy from a baby is actually the responsible thing to do.
Oh, jeez. Most of that stuff should have an age limit.
Like our show.
Very much so. All right, so what are you guys doing? You gonna take him up on his offer or deliver him?
Adelaide's very inclined to just be done with it, but everyone seems very keen on giving him a day.
Addie, I've got some contacts. I could just put out some feelers and keep an eye on this guy. That way we know where to find him.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Arthur, are you going to be okay with having such a lookalike running around the city?
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, what if all of his bad deeds get blamed on you?
Well, let's hope that not everybody has Merrick's vision.
I can see just fine, thank you.
From the knees down.
Fair point.
Fine. She looks at everybody. You are all still on the hook for this.
I'm not going to dance like a fish for you.
Before I let you down, what do we call you?
What have you been calling me up till now?
Hey, you. That one. Baldy. Fatso.
That third one hurt a little.
Better than the guy who looks like a brick hit him.
Well, that one's fair.
Does he go by Christopher?
I was just calling you Mark.
Mark, there's a good name.
I don't know, it kind of sounds like Merrick.
All right, fine. Mistral. You can call me Mistral.
She sets him down, but she does not untie him yet.
That gives me 24 hours to convince you that we're friends.
Alright, here's the deal. We let you go. You give us more information about what we're dealing with here. We let you go. And if you leave town, we're going to have a problem and a very short discussion.
Yeah, about a dagger's worth, right?
You know the way of it.
All right, here's my side of the deal. First, I'll make the introduction, no promises. Second, I won't leave town, and you can come and chase me down tomorrow. And third, I would really like my wedding ring back.
Merrick?
Right. That. So he'll, dig into one of his many pockets and just...
Don't dick him around, Merrick.
Oh, here we go. So he finds the money pouch and he'll toss it back to him.
It hits him in the chest since he's still tied up. Thanks.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Adelaide will gingerly pick up the bag. Bonnie, do you mind?
Oh, all right. And she starts untying him.
You tie really good knots.
Thank you.
I noticed that too.
Oh, thank you. He starts rubbing his wrists and relaxing a little bit. That's much better.
Adelaide still has the pouch in her hand.
He puts his hand out to ask for it.
Takes her a split second, but she'll put it back in his hand.
He pops it open. Is the ring in there?
Yeah, the ring was in there.
But he puts the ring back on.
Lifted from a couple of coins, though.
I'd expect no less.
You notice he didn't actually ask for the coin pouch back. He only wanted the ring.
I was a little peeved that he gave it back.
Right? I was sitting there, really? All right. But that's all right. So he puts the coin pouch back on. He puts that back on. All right. Let's get you to Gregor.
Lead on.
So he takes you around the corner and about a quarter mile away to a seedy little bar called the Devil's Washboard. He goes inside, and it's a quaint little bar. It's got maybe 6 seats at the bar and maybe 3 little tables. It is not very big at all. Right now, there's only a couple of people in there. A burly, really ugly-looking woman behind the bar. He kind of spits and looks over. Doesn't really say anything as you come in. And he goes, just like home.
Yum's dump.
Victrina, we're here to see Gregor. See in the back? She spits again. Always good talking to you. And he just starts heading right into the back, opens the door, and heads down this really short hallway. There's 2 doors, one to the left and one straight. And he cautions you, don't touch that door. And as you walk past it, you guys head to the next one. He pops it open and motions for you guys to step in.
Is it a room? Is it like...
It's a room. Yeah, it's a larger room, sort of like a small warehouse space, 20 by 30. There's shelves up all along the walls. There's a weapons rack on the back with some old rusty weapons in it. And there's a couple of workers in there, a dwarf and another human working in there, moving boxes around and organizing things.
All right. Merrick will go into.
When Bonnie sees the dwarf, she gets a big grin on her face and waves. And she says in Dwarvish, "Hello, how are you?"
Mistral, who are these people? The dwarf kind of starts walking over this way, and he says, These are the people that are going to help you with your little, problem. We don't have a problem. Yeah, you kind of do. You got that thing you got to do. You need the people. These are do it. Funny. Real funny. All right. So you guys have some skill?
I mean, we took out Mistral.
You took out Mistral? You think that's a challenge?
No, it really wasn't.
He was hiding behind a dumpster.
That sounds about right.
I said you had something more interesting than whatever he was worth, so not much of a stretch, but...
Oh, so he traded his freedom for, I got it, alright. Guy looks at Mistral just shrugs, says, well, tips his hat. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow. And he starts heading for the door.
See you soon, then.
Well, I'm Gregor. And yeah, we got a little job that you might be able to help with.
Help reaching the things on the top shelf.
How do you feel about thievery?
Love it.
Depends on the reason why and who I'm taking it from.
I'm not opposed to the idea, given the right circumstances.
Are they dead? I'm okay with it, if so.
They could be. I mean, that's really up to you. There's this fancy little shindig tomorrow night at the Farbridge estate. There's going to be a lot of drinking and a lot of nobles at a different house. So we do know that the estate of the Leftrons will be over there. We're going to go in and take a look around, see what we can see.
And steal what we can steal.
Sure. We like to say liberate, but steal's a good word for it.
Commandeer.
You use the term thievery, which implies stealing, so...
You're right. I should have said freedom fighting.
Semantics.
We're willing to let you keep some of the take for the muscle, help us deal with any problems we might run into. The rest we're going to be distributing.
I'm in.
Logan, does Val know anything about the Leftrons? Does that name sound familiar?
They're a one of the noble houses in the city. They have most of their money in the fancier things, vineyards and like luxury items like chocolate and things like that.
So as far as she knows, they're not bad people?
Not necessarily.
Would Adelaide have heard any rumors about them or any...
That's about it. That's about all you know. There's not a lot known about a lot of the noble houses.
What exactly are you looking to liberate?
Whatever's not nailed down. Things we can carry. They're not going to miss it. Well, I mean, they might miss it, but it's not going to really affect them.
And who is it being distributed to?
Whoever needs it.
I need a nice oil painting.
Well, then you're welcome to buy it, or take that as your part of the take. Then we'll use the money to actually help people. You can't eat an oil painting. Trust me. I've seen people try.
Well, color me amused at the prospect of this. You at least have my attention.
Excellent.
I was on board when you said thievery.
No doubt. So we'll be back here tomorrow evening.
And Gregor, you won't take any umbrage to me following up with Mistral after this?
Whatever deal you made with Mistral is a separate deal from ours.
Do we all have to say, it's just like home to get into the bar? Or is that like just an affectation he had? If there's a password and we're supposed to meet up with you tomorrow, it'd be good to know.
No real password. Just come on back.
Everything's not that dramatically cloak and dagger, dear.
Just most things.
Maybe it should be.
That's disappointing.
All right, tomorrow night then.
So you guys head off, leave, and do what for the next 24 hours?
I don't know offhand if Adelaide would check in. I think she'd just be, cagey and not talking to her handler, where it just took her an extra day.
Merrick would talk to his criminal contact to see if he can get any information on security at the Leftron estate. See if there's any guard dogs or traps or anything like that that they have hiding in the background. Just see if there's any additional information that he can get before going in.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a carousing check. Do you do it through means of persuasion or through means of intimidation?
It's part of my background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have a reliable and trustworthy contact who acts as my liaison to a network of other criminals. You know how to get messages to and from your contact, even over great distances. Specifically, local messengers, corrupt caravan masters, seedy sailors, etc., who can deliver messages to from me.
But it doesn't say what kind of information you can get?
Nope, that's it. Just that I have a criminal contact within the underworld.
All right. What else are you guys doing while I work on that?
Bonnie will go and write a letter to her parents, letting her know that she arrived safely, and that she's made some friends.
I'm having ever so much fun, Mother.
Hello, mother. Hello, father.
Wow.
The other thing that Bonnie is doing is she is, once she writes the letter, is going to go down to the docks and see if she can get some work for the day, since she dropped her coin purse yesterday and has no money.
Yeah. So your criminal contact gets back to you, and we'll come up with a name for him. Fenton. Guy gets you great ice cream. Fenton, he gets back to you and says, they've got some peculiarities over there. They're running these new kind of construct creatures as their night guards. They little tiny, freaky little creatures. I mean, they're big. They're as big as a man, but they just seem small from their stature. They're skinny, armed legs, little square and round heads. Some only have one eye, and they run around with daggers all night long. Something about them being able to not need to sleep. And then once you get inside, he's got this weird little creature, kind of a blob with these little tentacly things as a pet. So you got to watch out for that.
Would Merrick have shared that with everybody? Or does any of that ring a bell to Adelaide in her, being interested in the arcane and weird shit?
Well, they said constructs, but if you want to go ahead and give me an Arcana check on the technically little blob.
16.
So you're not quite sure what that could be. That's a little bit out of your realm. You would guess it's an aberration of some kind, be tentacly and blobby, but other than that, you're not quite sure. And you've never really heard of one as a pet.
But it's the rich. I mean, can't really put it past them to have weird pets and proclivities.
Very true. All right, so you guys have wrapped that up. It's the next evening, and you guys are heading back to meet with Gregor. So you guys, Gregor's there. He's wearing an all black leotard with a black mask. Looks very confusing on a dwarf. He's there with the other gentleman that was there. Again, all black leotard, black mask. Kind of sees you guys. That's how you're dressing?
Adelaide has a very similar outfit on. That's almost exactly what she wears normally.
Bonnie looks down. I don't really have anything else.
Wayuna's colors are red and black, so I assume Val's mostly in red and black, which is not particularly bright, but she looks down at herself and is like, these are my clothes.
Does she have armor on? Like heavy armor too?
Scale mail.
So little clinking.
Same. Merrick dresses in mostly very dark clothing and got a disguise kit. He can look like.
Yes, a little clinking. Kyle, we got to remember that nobody can see you putting makeup on your face.
Narrate as you hand motion.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, just like the black lines on face paint over the eyes and whatnot.
Adelaide hands Bonnie, unclasps her cape and hands it to Bonnie. Just not as noticeable, sort of important.
All right, let's go. So you guys head out to the back door there, and there's a covered wagon in the back there, being drawn by a horse.
Merrick would relate to Gregor the information that he had gathered pertaining to the security measures on the estate.
Excellent. That's what you guys are here to deal with.
Perfect.
So we don't want to take more than about 10 minutes after we breach the gates, all right?
10 minutes, all right.
So you guys go across town up to the hill, which is the fancier area in this town for these more luxury homes. The cart pulls up in front of the gates, and Gregor's partner jumps down from the cart and goes up and starts to try to open the lock on the gates. He seems to be struggling.
Step aside. I'll help with it. What is it?
Sleight of hand.
All
Yeah,
right,
sleight of hand for lockpick.
That is a 21.
21. So you near effortlessly pop this gate open, pushes it open. Gregor takes the cart through. You both jump back on the cart and ride it up to the house. And you get about halfway up the house, and you kind of start to hear this ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. And 3 of these creatures that were described before start coming up. One is this large, round kind of sphere, about the size of maybe, about 3.5, 4 feet across. He's got these little tiny spindly legs, 2 little tiny arms, a dagger in his hand. He's got sort of like little wing things on his back. And the other one looks like 2 crates stacked on top of each other with kind of a gear resting in between them. And again, spindly arms, spindly legs, 2 eyeballs instead of the round one that only has 1, and a big stupid grin on its face. And they're all running over to you with hostile intentions, very obviously hostile intentions, to stop you from coming up. Let's roll initiative.
11.
Nat 20?
I also got a nat 20, so I got a total of a 21. What'd you get?
23.
Okay, so you're going to go first. So that is...
What did you get, Adelaide?
Adelaide rolled a 19.
16 for Val.
Natural 1. Apparently I'm tying my shoe.
Wait, what? There's something happening?
The mono drones are going on a 21, and the duo drone is going on a 6. But there's 2 monos and 1 duo. It's very confusing.
The mono duo and the duo mono.
So, Merrick is first in initiative.
All right, Merrick, so these creatures are coming running up to the cart. What do you do?
Take a shot with my bow.
All right, go ahead. Which one? Are you hitting one of the mono or the duo?
Hit the duo.
All right.
That is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Beauties. For a d6 plus 3. That is 8 points of damage. Do I get sneak attack on that one?
No, I don't think so. You didn't have advantage for any reason.
All right.
So your arrow streaks over, kind of sticks into its cratey-like structure, and does 8 points of damage. And it looks very wounded by it. It's not very able to quite turn its whole body anymore like it used to. So the 2 monodrones are going to run up, kind of climb into the cart a little bit with you guys. One is going to attack Adelaide. The other one's going to attack Merrick. A 10 to hit Adelaide and a 15 to hit Merrick. That's 3 points of damage as this creature stabs you with a dagger. Cuts you along the side.
That's not nice.
All right. Who's next?
Adelaide.
Since the dude's right up on us, then Adelaide's going to take out her rapier. 14.
14 hits? Which one? Wait, sorry. Duo?
The one that just, swiped at her.
The mono. Sorry, no, 14 does not hit. So it just kind of bounces off his very bulbous eye.
Yeah, end of my turn.
Next.
Val.
All right, Val.
I'm going to cast Word of Radiance. Each creature of my choice are they within 5 feet of me since we're all inside the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. Word of Radiance. So they each have to make a Constitution save.
Okay. That's first one makes a 20, second one makes a 12.
Okay, they both made it, so they don't take any damage because it's a cantrip.
Oh.
But as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Merrick because she just saw him get hit. So she's like, well, maybe he needs a little help. So you get a +2 to your AC.
Much obliged, love.
Alright, that is Bonnie's turn, and she's gonna pull out her rapier and attack one of the monodrones. Does a 10 hit? Then as a bonus action, she's going to inspire Arthur, who hasn't gone yet, and say, "Don't worry, these guys smell worse than goblins. You've got it."
Nice. Who's next?
The duo construct.
So the duo is going to move to the edge of the cart and attack Arthur with its javelin. Twice. 20 to hit and a 3 to hit. Nope, a 4 to hit will not hit. So the 20 to hit is 4 points of piercing damage as it stabs up through the cart into your back.
Arthur?
What's inspiration? Give me?
A d6 on saving throws. And ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws.
And it's a 1 and done. Right?
So, guy just hit me. Was the duo?
Yeah, he's the duo from outside of the cart. He's just on the edge and he stabbed through the fabric.
Okay. So I'll finish tying my shoe and notice that there's a fight going on. And cast Booming Blade and take a swing at the duo.
All right.
With the inspiration, it is 16 to hit.
Hits.
A total of 5 damage.
Okay.
If he moves from there, he's going to take thunder damage.
Merrick, top of the round.
Could I attempt to hide in order to get the drop on one of the drones that's inside of the cart? I'm looking for sneak attack.
Sure.
I want to try to do this.
Yeah, you can absolutely duck behind one of your allies, do an attempt to hide, and then pop out and attack.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So do that. Hide behind that. That is a 12 on my stealth check.
It does look like one of the duo drones must not have very good depth perception because it seems to have lost sight of you. Or the mono drones. Sorry, those are the mono drones. And that joke would have been a lot better had I said mono drone. It's a good thing I'm editing this. It's going to be a lot funnier in the full cut.
So I'm going to go after that one. Go ahead and roll to 10. That is an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
That is a total of, 9 points of damage from a dagger. From a short sword, excuse me.
Okay. So, while this wasn't the one you hit before, your innate ability to know any creature's weak spot, you see some gears kind of tinkering around inside of this thing's, between this thing's seams. You slide your dagger in between two of its metal plates, and the entire thing seizes up, and it just collapses. And then disintegrates into dust, leaving its dagger behind.
All right. Finish my move. I'm going to grab that dagger.
The remaining monodrone.
The other monodrone, very upset by the death of its little buddy, turns to you and makes an attack. That's going to be a 17, which I believe hits.
Which hits.
So that's
I'm at a 16 right now.
4 points of damage. So 4 points of damage from his dagger.
Merrick is very bloodied.
Des?
Adelaide.
Stab at the monodrone still in the wagon.
While she's rolling that, for those that don't know, we are using the optional bloodied rule. Well, it's not optional. We just pulled it from 4th edition. When you're at half hit points, it's very noticeable that your character is injured. We call it the bloodied condition. And so if you hear our players or me talk about that, that's what that means.
Hey, Logan, my hand slipped. Should I still take the roll?
What do you mean your hand slipped?
I was rolling and it just, I wasn't actually trying to roll it. My hand was sweaty.
Nobody on the other end cares. What did you get?
I got us. That would have been a total of 11.
11 does not hit.
I assume so. She doesn't like fighting with her rapier. She's out of her element right now.
Val is next.
Is Merrick right next to me? Is he hiding behind me for the sneak attack?
He's not hiding anymore. He took his attack.
Okay. Wasn't quite expecting to use it this early, but I guess I'll do, okay. But we're all within 5 feet, right? Because we're still in the cart.
Yeah, it's a fairly small cart, so I mean, it's just barely all of you and the 2 monodrones, and that's about it. So there's not a lot of space to move. Actually, there is. There's 1 space to move now.
Okay. Well, yeah, she'll reach over and touch Merrick and do Cure Wounds. 9 hit points.
Thanks, love.
No problem.
It's about that time that, after that happens, about this time that the cart continues its move forward. They didn't stop when these things started running up. So it kind of moves past and the duodrone that's still on the outside on the ground. Whose turn?
Bonnie's, and she is going to try to attack the duo drone hit Arthur, and she's going to try and attack it with Vicious Mockery. So it needs to make
Which is ranged, right?
It is ranged, and it needs to make a Wisdom save.
Duodrone Wisdom save is a 6.
Awesome. So it then takes 1 point of psychic damage. As she yells out, I was going to cast Detect Thoughts, but I don't think I'll find anything up there.
All right. Who's next?
The duo construct.
The duo construct turns to run and catch up with the cart. I believe he takes some damage when he does that.
Yes. 4, in fact. Thunder.
He takes 4 points of damage, looks very, very injured, but continues to run up and then hucks a javelin at Merrick, who is towards the back of the cart there. 18's going to hit for 4 points of damage. You got a javelin sticking out of your leg, Merrick. Hopefully I'll hit the next leg next turn, and then we can do some Jim Carrey shenanigans.
I was just about to make the reference, so thank you for beating me to it.
Thank you for beating you? What? Who's next?
Arthur.
Explicit tag.
Wonderful.
Did he move successfully to the cart?
Yeah, no, he's actually 10 feet back. He chucked a javelin.
Just enough.
Okay. I cast Eldritch Blast.
So you look out the back of the cart, cast some, spend some arcane words, and shoot out your steamy beam of crackling energy.
Beam of crackling energy. With a 13 to hit.
Which will not hit, unfortunately. You may have shot a little premature.
Happens. I'm working on it.
It's Merrick's turn.
All right. So we still have a monodrone in the cart, and we've got the duodrone outside?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did before, ducking behind one of my allies and trying to get the drop on this monodrone with much better stealth. It's 22.
Just to clarify, you are at the level where you can hide as a bonus action, right? Otherwise, it's an action.
Is it?
You pretty much tell you no.
Yeah. Says our resident rogue in the other game.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no. Okay.
So you can't do what his character does in the other game yet. Calm down.
Yeah, got it. Okay, then, yeah, forget that. I'm just going to go ahead and attack this thing. Sorry, it's like I haven't played a rogue in a very long time, so it's learn as I go.
I haven't played a rogue ever, so I don't ever get to play. So very sad.
So we're going to roll to hit. That is a 24 to hit.
24 hits with gusto. Is that a nat 20? What is your...
That's a 19.
Oh, all right, +5, nice. 24 to hit.
Yeah, for maximum damage, it's 9 points of dagger damage.
So once again, even without the sneak attack, you slide in that dagger and find the right point, and it just vanishes to dust. It makes that Whedon-esque vampire vanishing sound.
And yoink on the dagger again. Just thank you.
Okay, you got another dagger. Now you have dagger. That was for all you critters out there. Both of you.
Womp womp. There's more than 2 of us in this podcast. Nice try.
Yeah, but I said out there, not in here.
Okay. So the monos are dead. So
The monos are dead.
Adelaide. The monos are dead.
11101.
Oh, God.
Just a little binary. Adelaide will swap out her rapier for her longbow and just very tired of this, shoot at the duo.
Go for it. With his big, stupid grin.
That wagon is just rocking really just abruptly, and it's not really working for her. That was a 9.
Okay, you miss, and he kind of giggles at you.
Oh.
Val?
Is the mono within 60 feet of us?
Yes, he's within 30 feet back.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead then. He has to make a wisdom save.
I don't think he's good at those.
7.
Nope. So it takes a d12 of necrotic damage. It's gonna take 9 necrotic damage.
So the wood and metal, the metal starts to rust on this box, and the wood just starts to crumple down, and it just turns to dust.
Does the smile go away?
Nope, the smile remains. Just big, creepy, toothy kind of smile.
You know, when God's put teeth in his mouth, it kind of ruined a good asshole.
Ugh.
They make them with assholes?
The cart continues up to the top. Gregor comes back, opens the tarp up, says, "Good job, but I hope one of you can mend, because there's holes in my tent."
There's holes in my leg.
That's what you're getting paid for. He goes up to the front door and says, "Hey, tall, dark, and, well, not so tall. Can you pop this open too?"
Sure, let me take a look. I'm sorry, I can't decide on like a South African accent or like if it, yeah.
Whatever you can sustain.
Yeah. It just pops out.
It's okay. You did your little speed up voice thing to us, so it sounded even weirder than you know. But I'm sure it'll be fine on the recording, so nobody at home's gonna know what the hell we're talking about.
We can always edit all that out, so it's...
Yeah, but it's more fun if we just leave it all in.
That's fair, yeah. That is a... What is my sleight of hand? My sleight of
That's
hand
like
is
my motto.
+5.
It's more fun if you leave it in.
Wow.
Explicit tag.
That explicit tag's going to be our pop-up video. What'd you get? I'm sorry.
18.
So I'm not even paying attention. You pop the front door open, no problems. Didn't even have to check for traps. I'm just going to take a quick break here to talk about some of our sponsors and take some time to reflect on how a skilled rogue such as Merrick wouldn't check for traps before opening a door. Maybe they think that the rich and snooty don't need traps on their doors. Our first sponsor is DiceBard.com. They are an awesome group of people who sell dice and other sundries. You should take a look at their site, DiceBard.com. They have like beanies and dice accessories. And some really awesome looking dice. My wife is using dice in this game from them, and I'm using dice from them in this game as well. The shipping was very quick. They gave us free expedited shipping, and they're allowing us to offer that to you. Use the coupon code Goonies, and you will get free expedited shipping on your entire order. The opening and closing music is Direction Jupiter, off of the title with the same name, Direction Jupiter, by Angel Salazar. And the interlude music here is Time, off of that same album. We get all of our music on artlist.io. The music for not just this podcast, but several of our podcasts come from. Music Licensing Reimagined. It's a one flat fee. You get all of the access to all of your music. You can use it for anything you need to use it for. And that's all your royalties wrapped into one. If you go to Artlist through the link bit.ly/nerdsongs, you will get an extra 2 months of service on your subscription. So definitely worth it. Go take a look. That's bit.ly/nerdsongs, NERDSONGS. I talked a little bit about Nerdsmith at the beginning. Nerdsmith is a new entertainment network where we've come together with all of our shows and the shows of several other very creative people, and we are building a community. All the entertainment is available free of charge. You can go on and you listen to absolutely anything. If there's anything we can do to make your experience better, please contact us. Nerdsmith works for creators to take some of the burdens, and the creators can focus on what they do best, is creating amazing content. So why don't you head on over to nerdsmith.org and check out some other shows. There's some amazing shows on there, such as Geek Thyself, Do or Dice, another active play podcast, the podcast I do with my wife called Married to the DM, where we talk about relationships and gaming, and a show that Kyle and Tessa and I do together called WAND Radio, which is difficult to explain at best. Just go take a listen to our first episode. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. Now let's get you back to the game. So the front door opens into this kind of marble walkway, and it kind of goes up these dual staircases up to this nice landing. There's several doors to the sides, several pieces of art in here, and up top in kind of the shadowy darkness, just out of your full vision, is some sort of creature kind of floating around up at the top that ducks into a room. And yes, I said floating. It is definitely not walking. All right, let's start looting. So the two of them start heading back into a back room and going for some valuables there. Do you guys go with them, or do you go to different rooms?
Bonnie is looking for anything shiny and not tied down.
Go to the kitchen.
Okay, what room? Are you guys going to different rooms, or you're all going to the kitchen?
I'm going to be stealthy, and I'm going to move. So, main entry hall, you said there's a staircase. I'm trying to visualize it. Any other doors other than the ones that Gregor and his compatriot went through?
There are several doors off this. There's two on the left, two on the right, and one double doors that they went through to the middle. The kitchen is to the right forward.
All right. I'm going to go to one of the doors on the left.
Okay, by yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to be stealthy.
I'm going to go to the other door, which is next to the kitchen, but within easy access to the kitchen.
Okay, you go through that other door, and you go into this large study, Bonnie, and you can see it's connected to the main dining room, which is also connected to the kitchen, so you actually have a straight shot you can see through double doors as they kind of go through their door. As you go off to the left, this is looks like kind of a library. And what's nice about this library is that there's all these little pedestals with all this art and all these fancy little doodads and things on them. What are you guys doing?
Val leans over to Adelaide. Are we sure they're giving the money to people who need it?
I mean, the monster doesn't really have much bearing on that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're stealing from people who don't really like the common folk to have much agency, so I don't really have a problem with this. I'll go with Arthur to the kitchen. I don't really want to split up in this house.
Val's gonna stay with Adelaide, and she's not picking up anything, but she is, like, keeping a lookout and watching around for the little thing we saw floating.
I would say, is there anything in particular you're looking for, or any particular places you're looking?
I was looking for the cookie jar.
You find a cookie jar. He's got some baller cookies.
Adelaide's gonna look in the pantry, and she's specifically looking for high-end goods that you don't normally get on other sides of town than this.
Caviar, salmon, dried and cured meats. Absolutely, there's tons of that stuff here.
She will take a few things and throw them in her bag.
Bonnie wants to rifle through the desk if there is one in the study.
So you start rifling through the desk. Inside the desk, you'll find a very nice pen and pencil set. You'll find it's an ink blotter. You'll find several beautiful glass paperweights and a few what look to be like just work documents.
Yoink.
And in the library, those art pedestals. Don't want to take anything that looks too fragile, but maybe something that's gold.
Nothing gold, but there's some nice bronze sculptures, some small bronze sculptures. There's a jade vase. There's several small little ceramic jars. There's like a couple of beautiful crystal bowls.
Let's go with the ceramic jars. I'm gonna carefully put those in the pack, in my pack, and arrange it around there. And the jade vase as well. That sounds
okay. You grab the jade vase. As you kind of explore more, you see there's this section of books that are actually behind this glass sleeve that goes over. That looks like they're protected from the outside, dust and things. They look very old. There's only 4 books in there, and they're all divided and kept separate in their own little pockets.
Let's see if I can open the glass.
So you go to move the glass, and you do see that there's this locking mechanism over to the right.
All right, I'm going to see if I can disable it. Oh, haha, that's a 23.
Okay, so yeah, you get your lockpicks in there, and you tinkle around with it, you hear this click.
Kind of look and see if there's any sort of, like, wires or anything around the glass.
Give me a perception check. First door you check.
My perception is a +2. That is 17.
Okay, so yeah, you do see that there seems to be some sort of little lever that will trip when the door opens.
Any particular way that I might be able to disable said lever?
No, but you can just make a disable device check.
I'll do that again, and then we'll see what's happening. Okay, we got 18.
Okay, so you pop out one of your lockpick sets. You kind of just slide it between the glass there. You hold the little lever up, and you open the door until you can put your hand in there. And then you take one of the larger books from a nearby shelf. You just wedge it in there. Got no problems. And then you grab all 4 of the books.
Cool. Yeah, I'm satisfied with my take.
Okay, so you take those 4 books. Let's go to the kitchen.
Adelaide's also looking to see if there's any expensive wine.
There is definitely some expensive wine, but that's going to be down in the wine cellar. So you got some stairs there off the kitchen. They go down. Do you want to go down there?
Sure.
Okay, you start heading down there. What are the 2 of you doing in the kitchen?
Val's keeping a lookout. She's not taking anything, but she's not going to stop them either.
Okay, so you're like looking into the main foyer with the stairs?
Yeah, but she's more towards the kitchen, just so that she's nearer to them in case anything happens.
Right, but you're in the kitchen looking out into the foyer to kind of watch and see if anything comes in or downstairs and stuff. Got it.
Right.
And Arthur.
I'm gonna start making a sandwich.
You start making a sandwich. So you're just
Val,
looking around.
let me know if anybody's coming.
Will do.
Do you want one?
No, I'm good.
So you're making a sandwich. While you guys are making a sandwich, those of you in the kitchen, give me a perception check. So that would be Arthur and Val. Damn it, I didn't have my list up. I'm sorry.
So I'm focused on this sandwich. I rolled a 3.
13.
Val, you hear just you can't tell where it's coming from, but you just kind of hear this. This is light little squeaky, kind of maybe a wheel sound. Good Foley work? Is that what I'm seeing? All right, thanks. And again, you're not quite sure. You can't pinpoint. It kind of echoes throughout these larger rooms, but you kind of hear that. Is there anything you want to do in particular?
Arthur, shh. Do you hear that?
What?
Shh.
Oh, sorry. What?
As you're telling him to quiet down there, which way are you looking? Into the foyer?
Into
or
the
into
foyer.
kitchen?
She's like over her shoulder.
Okay. As you are looking into the foyer, but you're kind of shushing him, the third time you turn to shush him, you see that the door to the dumbwaiter has opened, and out is floating this football-sized, oblong, kind of glistening, like, jellyfish shape with 2 large eye stalks on the top and about 3 dozen tentacles, these blue kind of tentacles with little spines at the end. And it turns at you and sprays in your face.
Just what we need is a Hanar with a cold.
I need... Oh, it's a 15-foot cone, so it's going to hit both of you. Dexterity saves.
19.
Ooh. 7.
So the 7 is going to miss it. You are coated in a horrible stench. It's like, trash compactor times 10. It's just the worst smell ever. And you are just kind of gagging. You're considered poisoned. You have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks. And...
Well, Adelaide's a little
we're
distracted
going
with
to
all the
initiative.
wine, so that's a 7.
12.
4.
Wow. Well, if everyone's in single digits, then nobody is. It's just normal initiative.
Well, that's a 1 for Bonnie, so...
Okay, the flump got a 21.
The flump. I love it.
And I got an 18.
Show off.
Very dexterous.
It was a good roll. Me too, I just rolled shit.
Alright. So the flump goes first.
Okay, so the flump then goes over and attacks Arthur. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Negative.
Does not hit.
No.
Wow.
I have a 17.
All right.
Wow.
Nice. As it moves within 5 feet of you to attack you, though, you also feel sickened or not sickened, but poisoned by the stench coming from this creature.
Can I, pull my shirt up over my nose?
You can. You'd probably instinctively do so, but it doesn't help. Who's next?
Merrick.
Satisfied with his take in the library, he is going to do a quick, check into the foyer and head back over to where his friends and allies were.
Okay, so you straight across, you can see Bonnie digging through a desk. As you go back into the foyer, there is one door that hasn't been gone through also, and then you can also see Val, and she is kind of wiping her face and kind of got this grossed out look on her face.
All right, he's gonna check left and right, make sure, and scamper across the foyer.
To get out and get over there, it's going to take a double move, but as you get there, you do see the creature floating around, reaching over and attacking Arthur.
Well, shit.
So you'll have a bonus action if you have something to do with the bonus action.
I don't think I do.
Okay.
And then it's Arthur's turn.
Okay. I'm going to curse it with Hexblade's Curse. Gives me a bonus and a crit on a 19 or 20.
Excellent. Is that all it does?
Yeah, and I regain hit points when it dies, if it dies.
And is it all, you're all done?
No, that's just something that happens. I can still attack.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'm going to cast Booming Blade and try to hit it with my Warpick. So 14.
That hits.
4 points of damage.
That's a longsword, you said?
It's a Warpick.
A war pick. Okay, so you're picking its nose. Got it.
Adelaide.
Adelaide's in the wine cellar holding a bottle going, oh, I haven't had this vintage in ages. Then she runs upstairs with her air.
Make a perception check.
Sure. 15.
Okay, yeah, you definitely hear the sounds of battle upstairs.
Okay, fine. She shoves the bottle in her bag and runs upstairs, grabs her bow.
All right. So it's going to take you a double move to get up there, though. So you get to the top of the stairs, and you see this jellyfish-looking thing kind of attacking. Actually, you see Arthur attacking the jellyfish, and you draw your bow, skidding to a halt at the top of the stairs because the smell hits you. Who's next?
Val.
Okay, quick question. Was Merrick within 60 feet of me the whole time?
Technically, yes, across the house, but not in line of sight or effect.
Okay, that's fine. It just has to be within range. So you still have Shield of Faith up?
Ah, got it.
Because it's a 10-minute concentration spell. And I haven't cast another concentration spell. So I'm going to Toll of the Dead on that creature. So it needs to make a wisdom save.
18.
It makes the save.
I'm sorry.
So nothing happens.
Oh no.
It's a hardcore cantrip when it hits.
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you have a bonus action that you're going to do?
No. I don't have any right now that I can cast.
Then it's my turn. Logan, you said that the study was connected to the kitchen through the dining room and that I could see through.
Yes, so you would have seen the spray happen, and you probably smelled it pretty immediately.
Then she's going to spin around and cast Dissonant Whispers on the creature. And I need a wisdom save.
17.
Okay, it makes the save, but it will take half the damage.
All right.
12, so 6 points of psychic damage.
This jellyfish thing just shudders at your attack, and the whole jellyfish head starts to ripple, and it pops and kind of gurts all over and flops to the ground.
Is it dead?
It appears to be dead.
You killed it.
Logan, was that a similar shadow as what we saw upstairs before?
Yeah, that was definitely it. Came down through the dumbwaiter.
When it dies, I do this little shiver.
I think that's one type of escargot I'm gonna say no to.
It doesn't even look like a snail.
Sluggy. It was like a weird slug-squid combo thing. I don't know. The eye stalks make me think of a snail.
Vulnerable to psychic damage is a brutal thing.
Oh, shit. Adelaide puts the can of escargot away that she had in her bag.
So, Gregor and his buddy pop out.
Oh, God.
What did you guys do? Oh,
It's pet attack this.
oh my God. Okay. All right, let's go. Run out of time.
Has it been 10 minutes already?
Let's get out of here.
My sandwich is ruined.
Oh no, the true tragedy of it all.
I'll get you a new sandwich.
You made a sandwich?
Half of one. Just interrupted.
Oh, I thought troglodytes smelled bad.
On the outside.
Alright, let's go.
On my way out, I'm going to grab some silverware out of the drawer. So I actually took something.
So you grabbed some nice silverware. Anything else anybody wants to grab on the way out? Some of the paintings of this room or anything?
You wanted a painting, Merrick.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop up. I guess it'd be on the
A little side table.
like
Sure,
a table or something. Yeah, like a table or so a side table, and hop up on a side table and just kind of run one of my daggers along the back of the frame. So I'm cutting it not inside the frame, but on the back end of it, so that I can peel it out. So you actually have a more full piece of the art, and just kind of roll it up and carry it with me.
So what did that picture look like?
The wall?
It was one of those stereotypical probably the master of the house with a hunting dog sitting regally poised like a borzoi or something.
While he's doing that, at this point, Val's really irritated with this house. So she's like, fuck it. She looks around and she grabs a nice-looking vase off one of the tables, dumps out the water and flowers, and just takes the vase.
All right.
Adelaide takes a quick beeline into the study and goes into the desk and looks for what has to be the masters of the house best cognac or something they would have in the drawer, I'm sure.
Give me a perception check.
I would not have left that alone.
Well, there's multiple desks. Yes, and baby. Yes, and.
7. Just not her day.
So you're kind of like digging through the desk, and you find like a bag of marbles and a couple of small little breath mints.
She takes them.
All right, so you got a bag of marbles and 2 open breath mints.
Do we pass by any paper and quill anywhere?
Yeah, sure.
On by the door on the way out? All right. I'm just gonna quickly jot down, sorry for the mess.
Okay.
Hopefully with your left hand?
He does everything with his left hand.
Your offhand, then. Not your normal handwriting hand.
All right, so you guys get in the cart. Gregor's like sitting like, what are you guys doing? As you guys are writing and digging and still going. You guys all get in the cart and you guys leave. You get the wagon all packed up. They got some stuff out there too, and you guys start heading down the road. You guys get back to the warehouse without incident, and he opens up the little roll-up warehouse doors, and they start unpacking everything.
Bonnie is casting mending as while everybody was doing the last minute crafting stuff. She went right out and she was casting mending to patch any holes in the tent so that it didn't look suspicious, like there was a holy tent as we were driving back.
Well, good job, guys.
Well, here's everything I found.
Do you actually put everything you found?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ooh, Adelaide's eyes start twinkling when she sees the books.
That was fun.
Here's what I got.
I just took this, and she picks up the vase. I don't know what it is. It was just pretty.
Bonnie just hands over most of the glass paperweights, but keeps one of them because she thinks it's pretty.
All right. I'm sure we can get a couple pennies for it. You guys did good. Well, you guys go ahead and take what you think is fair, and we'll go ahead and call the rest.
Are the tomes in like a series, or are they 4 like separate tomes?
They're 4 separate older books. Mostly they are history books, but they do look very valuable just from their nature. Although one of them does seem to have some more esoteric, arcane information in it.
I would like that one, please.
All right.
Is anything really old?
Besides the books?
Like the little miniature ceramic things he took?
Yeah, the little jars, the little ceramic jars are fat little oblong jars, like ovals, and one's a little heart shape with little tiny stoppers on the top. And you pop up the stopper, and there's this long little stick with a tiny little spoon at the end. And those of you with a more unsavory nature will recognize them as opium jars.
You don't want to get too deep into those.
There's no opium in them. The antique opium jars are worth a pretty penny, though.
Mm-hmm. I'll take one of those.
Adelaide will hand off the foodstuffs to Gregor and be like, someone who has more expensive taste, you might be able to
Excellent.
get quite a bit out of them for it. The wine I'm keeping.
All right.
I'll keep the jade vase.
I'll just keep the vase. Logan, just so Heather knows, is the vase that Val grabbed worth anything? Or is it just pretty?
Oh, yeah. There's not much that isn't worth something. As you guys are choosing up your stuff, he's taking the stuff you don't want and putting them into the different boxes and things. And he kind of turns and says, hey, I know you got something against him, but Mistral's a pretty good fence when you need him. He'd make a good ally.
Adelaide gives a big sigh.
I mean, you do what you gotta do, but...
Take it under advisement. I can't argue on any particular point, though.
Let me know if you want to talk to him. Besides, kill him or whatever you want to do.
Let me think on it. I'll get back to you.
His information was good, and this was quite fun.
We should up and hold our end of the deal, though. We did promise Adelaide that we'd turn him in for her bounty so she didn't lose credit with her job.
I think he's probably got more than one person looking for him if he deals in secrets and information.
let's get the bounty removed somehow. Then everybody wins.
It's your choice.
Let's at least go rest up. You guys don't look so hot.
I'm just hungry.
So you guys head back to where?
I go back to the inn that I'm staying at.
What's the name of that inn?
Fog's Reach.
Okay, Fog's Reach. So you guys head over back to Fog's Reach, which is down by the docks, I'm assuming. Which is good because that's most of where you guys met. So you guys head back down to the dock area to Fog's Reach, and you guys tuck in start to get rested and get food and relax. And in walks a tall gentleman wearing nice-ish clothes, a long jacket, a hat, and Adelaide instantly recognizes this as her handler.
Hey, Merrick, it's somebody else that looks like me.
I don't see the resemblance.
So the handler kind of comes in, probably right after Val shows back up. You guys are already settled down. You've ordered her food. It's a little cold, and Val's finally got that smell out of her hair. And the handler comes in and walks over to you. Doesn't look too happy.
Adelaide had been letting her wine breathe, and was about to flip through the book that she had gotten when she saw him. She puts the book down and sort of sits up in her chair.
What is this guy's name?
Let's call him Robin. R-O-B-E-N.
Robin. So Robin walks up and says, "A little birdie told me that you had Mistral in your grasp, and you let him go."
Well, shit.
You want to be a moving service?
I mean, I am pretty strong. I guess I could help.
Ready for an adventure, ladies? Join Nat.
It's okay. Everything dies.
Willow.
Are we in the city? God, I hope not.
Amira.
Can I do an insight check as they're, going to help?
And Nova.
Oh god, is this a baby? I threw it.
On Roll Like a Girl. Available on nerdsmith.org or wherever you get your podcasts.